Welcome to VOO Church Online this weekend. We're so glad to have you here. I just want to say that we miss everyone so much. I want to encourage you to fully engage, maybe put it on your big screen, turn the volume out, shout amen. I promise you will get a lot out of this service. Share this with every friend and family you've got. If you want to connect, need prayer, or give, the links are provided.
Hey VOO Church, my name is Wade Shoemaker. I am part of the team at VOO Church, and I just want to thank Pastor Brad and Pastor Sam for allowing me to share a little bit with you this evening. Honestly, I'm surprised they trust me with it. If you know me, you know that's sort of a stretch. It's kind of, they trust me, so we'll run with that. Hope nothing goes crazy, but thank you for that. No, seriously, I just want to thank them for the way that they lead. Pastor Brad and Pastor Sam, the way that you lead, we went through a church launch, a brand new church launch, straight into an event that has basically shut our entire world down. And you've never wavered, and you've never wandered off the path that you started on. We've done things differently because you have to. I'm in the woods. We have to do things a little bit differently to reach the people that have been coming, and to be honest, reach the people that we haven't been able to reach. And I want to thank them for leading differently when it called for it, but never leading in a different direction. We stayed on the path since day one, and I want to thank you from me. I know the church echoes what I'm saying. We want to thank you for leading the way that you do. We love you. I love you. My wife loves you. My kids love you. Honestly, I feel like they love you a little more than me sometimes, but you get you know it, and you know I'm not lying, but we love you, and we thank you, and we're so grateful for you. Secondly, I want to address the elephant in the woods. This thing, I'm sure you saw it, and when I started the message, I just wanted to look at you and say, hey, eyes are up here. Quit looking at that, because I know your eyes went to it, and I know you're probably thinking, hey, that's fine, we understand you're trying to comply with the covering rules. You instead of a face mask, you've got a bandana. That's fine. Everybody has different things, and that's fair, I guess. And then some of you, if you're older and you're weird like me and you like to watch shows that people 10 years younger than you watch, you're thinking, hey, did you binge watch too much Outer Banks? Are you trying to be that John B. guy? Because he is kind of cool. Oh, it was stupid. I probably shouldn't have even thrown that question in there. But the truth of the matter for the first question is, no, I'm not worried about the covering in the woods. I'm by myself. Who am I trying to... there's obviously a lot of frogs around here, but not worried about those guys too much. So no, I'm not. It's not the covering thing. And to the other question that I totally made up, that none of you may have even been thinking about, Outer Banks deal. Absolutely, I binged that show. It's nice. I enjoyed it. It's a good show. John B. is a cool dude. Not a role model of mine. So no, that has nothing to do with this. The truth is, this perfect piece of polyester. I don't even know if it's polyester. We're just going to say it because it starts with a P. But anyway, this piece of polyester has been treated with something that pushes away mosquitoes. That like off, but not off, not oily, right? It repels mosquitoes and insects, and I am in the hub of the mosquito repopulation. I am in it. I feel like there's a mosquito incubator somewhere over there, and I got a citronella candle on the ground that you can't see. So we're okay right now. We're good, but I'm sorry. We got that out of the way. Let's get it, okay? How many of you have you ever been in a vehicle before? Yes, most of us, right? Anywhere, it doesn't matter where. A country road, a county road, a parish road, a interstate, a highway, a freeway, whatever you call it, a back road, I don't care. But have you ever been in a car anywhere with your kids and they're just not being the perfect prince or princess that you were told they probably would be, or that you imagined them being before you had them? Yep. Okay. Screaming at the top of their lungs and throwing fits, maybe kicking your chair a little bit. That probably set some people off right there. You've probably got PTSD from some of that. Yeah, I'm with you. I feel you there. But you have to correct them every other mile marker. You're driving. Well, you're not. Hopefully you're not driving, but let's be honest, you probably are. And you're driving, and every other mile marker, you're sitting here and you feel that kick, or they're throwing stuff in the front or whatever. Mine don't do that. Nope, my kids are perfect. But you're running through there, and something happens, or screaming, and you just look back and you say, hey, if you don't stop that, I'm gonna come back there, and if I have to come back there, it's gonna be bad. And if I get to 3, you're gonna get a whooping when I get over the side of this road. It doesn't always go like that, but sometimes the fuse is lit, and then it just can't be stopped. But is there anybody else? It's just me. Am I the only one who does that? Am I the only one who's driving, keeping it between the mayonnaise and mustard, threatening my kids within an inch of their life? No, you, almost everybody. Nobody. I'm in the woods by myself. Nobody raised their hand. If you're at home and you raised your hand, thank you, because now I don't feel so weird. There's nobody here. It would be weird if people were raising their hands here, because literally just me and the grass and the frogs. Yep. So no hands really went up here. I'm just pretending. I'm a dad. I have a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old. I pretend a lot at home, okay? It's just part of it. But hey, maybe it's not your kids, because your kids are those princes or princesses that everybody said they would be. They never do anything wrong, and they're absolutely perfect, right? Yeah, because also, let's hope you can get to heaven by lying through your teeth, because if that's what you said your kids are, you're lying. You are lying, L-Y-I-N-G, or L-Y-I-N, you lying. You are lying, L-I-O-N. It's base country. You are lying, homie. Oh man, I've been in the woods too long. But you are lying, and hey, here's the deal. Maybe you don't even have kids. Maybe it's not the kids that get you. Maybe it's that friend that you can only handle for a certain period of time. That one that comes over for a few days, and after that 3rd day, on the 3rd day, I kicked him out. You love them hard for a little bit, but then after you love them hard, you push them out the door even harder when the clock clicks where it's supposed to go. You're like, time's up, bud. Got to roll out. Don't say their name out loud. Don't even say who they are, because if you do, it might start something, and God forbid, they're sitting right there beside you on the couch, eating chips or whatever y'all doing at 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. I don't know. But anyway, don't say their name, and if it is them, think of something really fast, or figure out how to dig yourself out of that hole, because something weird's about to happen, okay? Look, we could keep going, but you get the point. Don't call them by name. There's times in life or situations in certain times that cause you just to get all kinds of bent out of shape or flustered about something, and you just know that you just need a big breath of fresh air. And I hope that's not too corny, saying you need a big breath of fresh air when we're doing our fresh air series. Maybe at work, maybe it's corny, okay? Again, I'm a dad. That stuff just comes naturally after you have kids. Corniness just flows out, right? If you're a dad, you understand. If you're a son or a daughter, or you have a dad, you understand that, man, we just get cornier as we get older. So it is what it is. I'm sorry. Moving on. But you just feel like a reset is necessary, and the monotony of threatening your 3-year-old every other mile marker is getting old really, really quick, and you've been in a really close proximity with the ones you love and your friends and your family members and just people in your cul-de-sac or whatever, and you're questioning the love that you thought you had for those people when those 9 weeks started, and you're thinking, man, if I was a cat, I would have given up and just called it quits before. I might have 9 lives, but I'm gonna give them all up now, even though we've got 9 weeks. That was dumb. Get it? Cats have 9 lives, 9 weeks, a life a week. Sorry, Dad. So you've been stuck with screaming kids, or you've been around that friend for as long as you can handle them, and you are beyond ready. You're beyond ready to get to a place that has air that isn't being recirculated by your central unit, or that trusty window unit that's been humming you to sleep every night. You're just ready to get into something fresh. Well, guess what, my dudes and ma'ams? I got good news. In Philippians, Paul is talking, and he gives us some solid advice on what to do. In Philippians 2:15, he says, go out into the world uncorrupted, a breath of fresh air in this squalid and polluted society. Look, the frogs are amening me. Like, this is going to be good. There's times when you think you need a breath of fresh air, to make you feel better. But what we don't want to admit is that when we think we need that fresh air, what we really need to be doing is thinking about being the fresh air to the ones that are around us, to our friends and our family members. And instead of sucking it all up, we should be that fresh air and we just give that to people around us. Just a thought, just something to think about. Provide people with a glimpse of good living and of the living God. Carry the light-giving message into the night. My gosh. Look, let's break that down just a bit. And if you're not a fan of the Message version, look, it's okay. Just highlight that Philippians chapter 2 in your KJV, and we'll move on to the NQKJV, which is the not quite King James version, which around, you know what? I said it. There's no going back. So anyway, around my house, the NQKJV is also known as Wade's Brain, or how I interpret it. Look, Paul is telling us that even though the world is corrupted and even though the world is polluted by the things that make the world, that we are to go out there and separate ourselves because we're supposed to be that fresh air that the world so desperately needs. We're supposed to be bringing that light because we are supposed to reflect Jesus everywhere we go. And then, this Paul fella gets all just bold. He is audacious enough and has the nerve enough to tell us, hey, let people see you do good. Let people see it. and all while you're doing good and being good, bring light into that dark place. That's bold, bro. Like that's big. He didn't say that we should do it for the cloud. He didn't say do it and put it on TikTok. He most definitely didn't say put it on TikTok and then share it to Facebook and Instagram or whatever, because that is as close to blasphemy as blasphemy can get. Keep TikTok on TikTok. Whew. He didn't bring up and he didn't tell us that, hey, do this so you can feel good about yourself later. You will, but don't do it because of that. He said do it all because we are who God says we are if we are who we claim to be as Christians. If we are true Christians, do it because of that. And only that. I think we're at a place now that when we lay down at night, or maybe sunrise is your bedtime if the thing messed you up as bad as it did me. You know, our minds are ready for something different. Our minds are ready for a change of scenery, and our hearts have been inside of us just tugging and, ready to do more, they're ready to be more. Our hearts are saying, hey, we need to go see more. In Philippians 3:13, Paul's still talking. He says this, he says, friends, don't get me wrong. The dude literally gives him himself a disclaimer before he even gets started. Friends, don't get me wrong, hey, bro, I'm not, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I'm just going to tell you something. Don't get me wrong. By no means do I count myself an expert on all of this. Now remember, less than a chapter ago, this is the guy who had a mic drop moment, and he says, hey, now you do you, boo-boo, if you are who you say you are. That's bad. Every time hey, you do you, boo-boo, if you know what? I don't do the boo-boo thing well, but you get what I'm saying. You do you if you are who you say you are. I probably should have just dropped it, but we're there. But the same guy that said that is now admitting that he is barely more than an amateur. Barely more than an amateur. The verse says, friends, don't get me wrong. By no means do I count myself an expert in all of this, but I've got my eye on the goal where God is beckoning us onward to Jesus. I may not be an expert, but I know what to do. I may not be an expert, but I've got my eye on the prize. I may not be an expert. You know what? I may not have that last name. I may not have graduated first in my class. I may have a broken home. I only have one parent. I used to be a stripper. I've done drugs or dealt with drugs my entire life, or most of it. I've got a porn addiction. I've been told my entire life I'll be nothing more than I ever am, and I'm only going to go backwards from here, hey, you see where I'm going. You can start that sentence any way you wanted to, and it doesn't matter how you start it or how you build it, because it's going to end the exact same way. It's going to end with, I've got my eye on the goal. God is beckoning us to Jesus. Not you, not me, us. God is beckoning us to Jesus. Look, speaking from my point of view, if you're going through something, you're not alone. You are the majority right here. If you've got some stressful situation or some issue that you can't kick, you're not alone. you are surrounded by a pile of people who's going through something very similar, I assure you. And I can promise you that this entire event has been one that will go down in history, and I'm pretty sure there's more things unfolding that we'll hear about later on. But Paul is telling us that we can't just worry with where we are, but we have to move forward. We have to move forward. We have to push on, because God is begging us to move now more than he ever has to get closer to Jesus. I'm closing here. And it would be super cool if I could just be like, hey band, come on. Look, sun's going down, play some cool chill music, match my vibe. I don't know, build it, whatever you want to do, But it would be super cool, but I can't. I'm in the woods, I'm by myself. Every single time that I get onto my kids, every single time, it doesn't matter if it's for anything, every single time I struggle with it. And it's not because I don't think that the discipline is wrong. I'm very much a spare the rod, spoil the child kind of guy. I believe in that. And it's not that I don't think positive reinforcement works or is the key, but it's because I know that as soon as they snap out of whatever it is they're going through, that as soon as they squash that issue of dropping a cracker or breaking something before they eat it, I don't know what it is, wrong spoon, right? But as soon as that's over, they're going to go right back into the two perfect boys who everybody said they would be, and they are all of a sudden my two perfect princes that live with me and never ever will do anything wrong again. I've learned and taught myself that my wife has taught me, and these verses have taught me that maybe my frustration isn't always the answer. But maybe I should try and be that breath of fresh air for my family instead of trying to suck it all in when I feel like I need it, when I feel like it's my time. It's possible that maybe fresh air for you isn't fresh air at all. Maybe fresh air for you is being fresh air for the ones around you. I want to encourage you today to be that example, to be that fresh air when you leave your house after those 63 days and 7 hours and 31 minutes and 17 seconds. I wasn't counting at all. I didn't count. I mean, that's pretty close, right? I'm really closing here. This is my last paragraph. Even when you're chatting through that face mask that you're wearing to someone on the other side, or maybe because, you hate to hear it, but maybe there's a Karen that comes into your place of work and, hey, you know what? She's upset because there's not hand sanitizer when she walked in and when she turned and when she got to the other aisle, and there's not one on every corridor. And she obviously wants to speak to your manager. Maybe the person on the other side of that mask needs to see Jesus through your eyes instead of smelling the breath that's behind that mask. And maybe that Karen, you know what? It's not a maybe. I am certain that Karen needs to see you be who you say you are through Christ. Because maybe you're going to be the only person that reflects Christ to her in that day. It's simple, guys. It's a really long-winded, geese behind me, simple message. Be fresh air, be an example, move forward. Let's pray. God, I thank you for today. I thank you for these people that are watching, for VOO Church, God, for the power of online church, able to go into houses that wouldn't even be able to come to our church in the first place, God, across the country, across the state, across the world, if that happens. God, I thank you for you. I thank you for who you are and never wavering, God. I thank you for our pastors, and I thank you for the plan that you have in front of us, God. I pray that you surround us in our houses, God, and I pray that you be that fresh air for the people that need it, God. I pray that you be that fresh air for the people that don't even know they need it, God, so they can go out in the world and be that example to carry your light to wherever they go, to light up the shadows and do your bidding. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
What an amazing service. Thank you so much for watching with us. If you are in need of prayer or pastoral need, we would love the opportunity to pray with you. Anytime during the service, just click on the voo.church/pray link. If it's your first time joining us, we would love for you to click on the voo.church/first link and fill out that form. We won't spam you or come visit you, especially now. We just want to get to know you. Here's the last thing. Thank you for giving, especially this season. your giving is helping us make a difference. You can give online, that's how I do it, at vu.church/give or text to give. I just want you to know that we move at the speed of generosity, and generosity is making a difference. Thank you for watching VU Church Online.